Hello, in this video we will discuss about the testosterone, their physiology, basically their function, and basically I want to say that testosterone is basically the steroid which that is released more in the male but the minor quantity in the female. So the testosterone is important for the showing the secondary male sexual character and the primary male sexual character. So in this way we will discuss the whole detail in this video. So let's start without wasting time. So here let's begin to understand the testosterone. So this is the endocrine hormone, steroid hormone, and this is hormone because it will stimulate the other things, other tissue to increase their characters and enhance the male reproductive organ as well as the male reproductive characters and secondary male reproductive character we will discuss also from the testes. So the male steroid hormone and developed from cholesterol, fat soluble fat soluble it is, and hydrophobic. It means it is hydrophobic, and in this way you can see it is the lipophilic in this case. So here is a person which contain a beard, that is the secondary sexual character, male sexual character, secondary male sexual character, which that is a part of beard, deep voice, bone density and muscle mass and muscle growth. On the other hand, the important thing is that the testis is the best source for the production of the testosterone, but important thing is that the adrenal gland is also involved for the production of testosterone. So this is the testis and this is the male reproductive system you can see in this diagram. So the adrenal gland we will discuss first what is that, and the basically adrenal gland produce the different type of hormone, different type of steroid and catecholamine. So in this way here is the I am drawing the cross section of the adrenal gland for understanding their different layers, and in this way the zona glomerulosa is a 15% and mineralocorticoid or aldosterone. This mineralocorticoid and aldosterone is produced from the zona glomerulosa. This is the 15% in the whole adrenal gland. So the adrenal gland in the form of pair in each kidney contain a adrenal gland. And here the zona fascicularis and zona reticularis is contained 78% to and 7% respectively. And in this way here is the medulla which contain 20% release the catecholamine, and on the other hand the glucocorticoid and androgen, estrogen and mineralocorticoid produced from the, and androgen is the part of the testosterone, it is the male sexual character production, and the testosterone is a male hormone. So in this way here you can see this is the content testes, the male reproductive system, which the best source for the production of testosterone, and also the primary sexual character. For example, the sperm production is important, and this is through a testes we will discuss. So here is a part of testes we will discuss. This is the cross section. Here is a tunica albugina, and here is the seminiferous tubule, and this is the basically rete testes is the part of the testes. We are not going to detail. So here is the here is you can see that is a spermatic cord, which that is upper layer of the sperm duct, and the upper part of the ductus inside is the ductus deferens, while the outer layer is known as the sperm duct, which that is used for the ejaculation. When ejaculation, the storage of the sperm in the epididymis, head, body and tail containing epididymis, will release during the orgasm, and in this way you can see during the sympathetic nervous system, which that is lead to ejaculate, while the parasympathetic nervous system is used for the erection of the reproductive organ. So on the other hand the blood vessel is here you can see. So remember we are just understanding about the male sexual character, so we are not going to understand the female part. So this is here you can see we will discuss the plane of section of the seminiferous tubule, which contain a 200 micrometer in their diameter, and in this way you can see This is the basically the lumen of seminiferous tubule. This lumen of seminiferous tubule contains a spermatozoa, which that is the result of the meiosis into the form of haploid spermatozoa. It comes from the primary spermatocyte to secondary spermatocyte to spermatid and mature sperms. So here you can see this is the basically the basement membrane, basal lamina, and here is the Sertoli cell, which that is used for the nourishment to the spermatozoa, and this is the basement membrane, and the inner is the germinal epithelial cell, and inner germinal epithelial cell you can see. And on the other hand, this is the basically anatomical aspect we are discussing in this diagram. So this is here is the spermatozoa. This is the haploid sperm which contain a flagella, and it is look like a unicellular microorganism. So here is the basically is the upper part is known as the Leydig cell. Leydig cell is looking like outside into the interstitial fluid. It is remain into the interstitial fluid, and here is the Leydig cell is known as, and here is the red color is showing that myoid cell, the myoid cell, and here is the interstitial fluid which that is used for the nourishment to the Leydig cell also, and also secrete the basically the testosterone into the interstitial fluid, and it is also known as Leydig cell is known as the interstitial cell. So let's begin to understand the endocrinology. So the hypothalamus and pituitary gland, which that is important and responsible for the releasing of testosterone, how we will discuss. Here is the neurosecretory cell, which that is present in the hypothalamus, release the gonadotropin releasing factor or gonadotropin releasing hormone, which that hormone will stimulate into the adenohypophysis contain a cells. This cells is known as the endocrine secretory cell, and in this way the adenohypophysis will be stimulated to release the luteinizing hormone, and the luteinizing hormone is also known as the interstitial cell stimulating hormone. In this way, the interstitial cell stimulating hormone will release and go into the blood circulatory system. So after all this basically go into the blood circulatory system, so when it will go into the blood circulatory system, the luteinizing hormone target to the Leydig cell. So when target to the Leydig cell bind with the Leydig cell luteinizing hormone receptor, this luteinizing hormone receptor as a ligand will bind with the Leydig cell to stimulate the production of testosterone. We will also understand about these things. So important thing is that the production of the testosterone is the different, while the testosterone target to the cell is different because it is the lipophilic, so it can be cross the membrane. So that means the testosterone will be directly move inside, not receptor is required. So in this way here is you can see the increasing of the luteinizing hormone will bind with the Leydig cell receptor, the luteinizing hormone receptor. So here is you can see this is the spermatocyte which differentiate. On the other hand, important thing is that the testosterone injection can also be used as a hormone therapy or steroid hormone therapy. In this way, whenever our steroid level will be low, so we can introduce the foreign testosterone synthetically in the lab through a biotechnological product, which that when introduced in our blood, so it means it will be enhance the muscle density, deep voice, as well as the stamina. On the other hand, the growth of the beard, if the testosterone will be low in our blood due to some reason. So for example, here is the Leydig cell produce also testosterone. This testosterone will target the different tissue, and we will not understand about the targeting to the different tissue and their mechanism, but next video we will understand about that. So let's begin to understand the cross section of the Leydig cell, the plasma membrane of the Leydig cell, for understanding the how to interact the ligand as a luteinizing hormone. So the luteinizing hormone will bind with the G-coupled protein receptor, and this is the endocrine secretion from pituitary gland to the blood circulatory system. First messenger is the luteinizing hormone. Whenever the luteinizing hormone will bind with the G couple protein receptor, in this way, this is the plasma membrane containing domain is the GPCR, which that is inside the cytosolic G protein. This is the trimeric cytosolic G protein. These G proteins contain alpha, beta, and gamma. So here is the plasma membrane, and inside is the cytoplasm. So this is the G protein. This G protein is the trimeric, contain alpha, beta, and gamma subunit. And in this way, the alpha will bind with the GDP is in the form of inactive formation. And whenever it will be activated by the ligand binding, so it will be GDP convert into the GTP, and this is the GTP containing alpha subunit will be separate. And anyhow, in this way the adenylate cyclase will be bound, and this is the enzyme will catalyze and produce the cyclic AMP. This is the second messenger, and this second messenger is basically is important to activate the inactive protein kinase A to activate, as well as the protein kinase A will active cell inactive cell to activate the cholesterol esterase ester formation. So in this way, here is you can see the adipose droplet. This is the cholesterol ester formation will be separate into the free fatty acid, and cholesterol will be separate. After the separation of the cholesterol will go into the cytoplasm from the globule, and this cholesterol will enter into the mitochondria. And whenever it will go into the mitochondria through a star transporter channel, we will discuss also. So here is the protein kinase A is the cascade of phosphorylation will move into the nucleus. We will discuss later. So but here is you can see this is the pKa dependent transcriptional factor. This is transcriptional factor will produce the steroidogenic enzyme expression. This steroidogenic enzyme expression enhancement will lead to increase the testosterone. So this testosterone will be released. So remember, the estrogen is also produced in the human body, but the male body, but it is a little bit, a small amount of the estrogen. We will discuss also. So here you can see this is the star transporter channel, which that is allowed to move inside this cholesterol into the mitochondria. And the cytochrome P11A1 is the enzyme which that is used for the cholesterol to convert the pregnenolone. This pregnenolone will be after a release from the mitochondria to move into the endoplasmic reticulum. Here you can see in this diagram. So whenever it will go into the endoplasmic reticulum, it will be pregnenolone, which that is in the presence of the cytochrome P17 and A1, which that is used for the conversion of the pregnenolone into the 17 alpha hydroxypregnenolone. And this is the cytochrome P17, and A1 is used for the conversion of the 17 alpha hydroxypregnenolone into the dehydroepiandrosterone. This dehydroepiandrosterone is converted by the HSD17 beta 3, and in this way convert into the androstenedione. And in this way, here you can see the HSP3 beta is converted into the progesterone, and this progesterone we convert is the cytochrome P17A1 to convert again the 17 hydroxyprogesterone, which that's convert into the androstenedione, which that is convert again in the form of testosterone. So this testosterone will convert from these things. For example, the androstenedione is converted into the testosterone, while the progesterone is come from the pregnenolone also, but little bit amount of that. While here is the alpha reductase enzyme used to convert the dihydrotestosterone. This dihydrotestosterone is important for the secondary male sexual character. For example, beard and the muscle density. And aromatase enzyme, which that is again convert the estrogen as well as the 17 beta estradiol for the female hormone it is, and it is part of the also male hormone. It is the little bit amount in our body, but when increase this estrogen will lead to hypermestia as well as the male boob, you can see that. And on the other hand, here is important thing here is the testosterone. This testosterone, you can say that dihydrotestosterone, which that is convert from the testosterone. This testosterone convert the dihydrotestosterone through a alpha reductase enzyme, and in this way it is used for the drastically increase with the age wise. For example, the 18 age will lead to increase more and ultimately decrease, and estrogen is in this case will be also increase age wise. So on the other hand, important thing is that when increase the dihydrotestosterone will lead to increase the estrogen. So thanks for watching. Please make sure to